Stay classy, Golden Eagles. So this is part 2 of the video that should be a link above you. And this one is going to be subtracting mixed numbers again. We did the borrowing method in the previous video. This new method that we're doing is called renaming both mixed numbers as improper fractions. And you guys do have experience with that. The only thing that's not makes this my favorite way of doing it is then I have to go back and change things into whole numbers. But guys, as I have always said, if you like the method, you feel successful, and you feel like you can do it the best, you do the method that you want to, okay? So I'm going to show you this one. We're going to call it the renaming method, all right? So you're going to need a piece of paper and a pencil again. If you still have room on your previous paper, you can. If you need to go get those items, go ahead and hit pause. Get a piece of paper and a pencil and set up the problem. It's the exact same problem. It's just a different method. Go ahead and hit pause. Go get that stuff. And then when you come back, we'll get started. All right, guys, here's what we're going to do. Now, this is the renaming method. And so what we have to do is convert our mixed numbers into improper fractions. So this will be a little bit of a good review on how to do that. So we're going to focus on the 5 2/5 first. Okay, so when you rename the 5 2/5, or you rename any mixed number, what you have to do is you multiply the whole number, the large number, by the denominator. So we're going to do 5, in this situation, 5 times 5, which we all know equals what? Thank you, Lily, 25. All right? Now, all you have to do after you multiply your whole number times your denominators, you add in the numerator. So it's going to be 25 plus, this situation is 2. 25 plus 2 gives us 27. Okay? So 27 is now our new numerator. So I'm going to write this below, okay? So our 27 is now our new numerator. Our denominator didn't change, so it's still going to be 5. And we're revisiting this fraction. And you can always double check, guys. If you divide 5 into 27, you should get 5 wholes, because 5 times 5 is 25, right? And then if you add 2, it will be 27. So we're going to change over 2 4/5 into an improper fraction. Again, multiply the whole number by the denominator, so 2 times 5, which is 10. Then you add in the numerator. In this situation, it's 4, so it's going to be 10 plus 4, which is, thank you, Jaden, 14. And guys, remember, as we did on the previous problem, that number is now our new numerator from this fraction, okay? So 14 will be in the numerator, and what's our denominator? Thank you, whole class, for everybody saying that. It is 5. So our new improper fraction is going to be 14/5. So go ahead and set up your problem like that. And remember, you guys can double check your work on this, okay? What number times 5 gives you as close as you can to 14 without going over? Well, 5 times 3 gives you 15. That's too big, so it's got to be 5 times 2, right? And 10 minus 14 would give you 4. And that's where you get your 4/5, okay? I hope that makes sense. I mean, you guys have practiced this before recently, so I'm hoping this is just review. So now we can subtract like we've always done. The denominators are the same. We don't need to change anything. We never subtract denominators, but we always subtract numerators. So now we're going to do 14 minus from 27. I'm just writing down the denominator. It stayed the same. It stays the number 5. 14 minus 27 gives you 13. Okay? So our answer is now 13/5. But in this situation, guys, we're looking for our final answer to be not an improper fraction. Remember, improper fractions when the number on top is bigger than the denominator. So we're going to have to divide. So we're going to have to divide 5 into 13. So I'll set that up. Remember, there's a couple different ways that you can do this. This is my favorite method. So again, guys, what number times 5 gives you 1 or less? Well, that's 0. 5 times 0 gives you 0. 0 minus 1 gives you 1. Now I'm going to bring down the 13, and I'll show you guys that, and I'll talk you through the next part. Okay? So now I'm kind of back where I'm starting. I know that I couldn't multiply anything times 5 except 0 to get less than 1 or equal to. And so now I have what number times 5 gives you as close to 13 without going over. Remember, you can't go over. And we talked about this a little bit earlier, right? Just up here. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. Can't do 3. 15 is bigger than 13. So it's got to be by 2. So 5 times 2, as we all know, is 10. Set up the problem. Remember, put the whole number up top, 2. 5 times 2 gives us 10. Subtract it out and we get what? 3. Now, you guys have heard me say it a million times with division. There is nothing left to bring down. My remainder is smaller than my divisor. So that means that is 2 remainder 3. Okay? So, now we're in the situation. The 2 up here represents our, thank you guys, it represents our whole number. And the 3, the remainder, always represents our numerator in our mixed number. And the denominator does not change because we did not change it. So we end up with the same answer as we did before, 2 and 3/5. I hope that makes sense, guys. There's going to be some activities below. It's either going to be Prodigy or a worksheet. And so please make sure you're doing that, staying on top of things. And as always, stay classy, Golden Eagles.